All right, so let's start with the top story. There is Pakistan, Saudi Arabia's defense pact. India has issued a response in the wake of this newly signed strategic mutual defense agreement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, stating that India will very closely study the pact's implications for India's national security and regional and global stability. In a statement issued by the Ministry of External Affairs, the spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal stated that New Delhi acknowledges the formalization of what it describes as a long-standing arrangement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, while also noting that it will closely examine its potential ramifications. The statement has emphasized that India's national security remains paramount in the wake of this development. Now, according to an official joint statement, this agreement aims to develop aspects of defense cooperation between the two nations and strengthen the joint deterrence against any aggression. The agreement further states that any aggression against either nation shall be considered to be an aggression against both. The deal was signed by Saudi's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in Riyadh, where both sides held an official session of talks attended by the delegation of both the nations. And the deal comes just days after an Israeli bombing of Doha, also months after India had launched Operation Sindoor against Pakistan in retaliation of the Pahalgam attack. Saudi Arabia has strongly condemned the terror attack, which came during the Indian Prime Minister's state visit to Riyadh in the month of April earlier this year. In a joint statement, India and Saudi Arabia had condemned the cross-border terrorism and had called on all states to reject the use of terror against other nations, to dismantle terror infrastructure where it exists and to bring the perpetrators of terror to justice pretty swiftly. But Saudi Arabia also has very close links with Pakistan. About 2.5 million Pakistani nationals live and work in the Saudi kingdom. And during the official session of the talks, according to a statement, the two sides reviewed the historic and strategic relations between the two nations and a number of topics of common interest. A senior Saudi official who spoke on condition of anonymity acknowledged the need to balance relations with India and Pakistan. He said, and I quote him here, "Our relationship with India is more robust than it has ever been and will continue to grow this relationship and seek to contribute to regional peace whichever way we can." Now, on being asked whether Pakistan would be obliged to provide Saudi Arabia with a nuclear umbrella under the pact, the official said, "This is a comprehensive defensive agreement that encompasses all military means." The development comes after the recently held Doha summit that was attended by about 40 Islamic nations, of which Pakistan happens to be the only nation with nuclear capabilities. And WION's assistant editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal, has sent us this report. Listen in.
Eyebrows will be raised here in New Delhi in the aftermath of the signing of Defence Pact between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. The details of the Defence Pact is not known yet, but India has said that it is aware of the developments, and this is something that was in consideration for some time. Now, Saudi Arabia has an important relationship with India, something that has been growing in past few years. But the big question for India will be, given that this defence agreement has been signed, what will be the Saudi position in case of any future terror attack from Pakistan, and India's response, the counter-terror operation that will of course happen for sure given the past precedents. But the signing comes at a time of great geopolitical flux in the West Asian region, and of course it also means that the Pakistanis for sure will be seen as a stakeholder in any future conflict in West Asian region. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.